What's up, everybody? Hope you're having a beautiful day so far today. You guys know the drill. Another episode, another 10 days of progress, so let's check it out. Day 176, starting off the day with level 86 mining. Kind of cool, doesn't unlock anything, but always cool to actually see how much the XP from doing all of these strange rocks actually does add up and does lead to levels over time. After that, I got level 98 fletching. Now, it's at this point that I'm kind of in a place where, yeah, I could make the push toward 99, but I don't think I'm going to, and the main reason for that is pretty much just strange rocks. I know I'm going to be doing fletching at least a little bit every week for strange rocks anyway, and I don't really see a reason to be training it much past 99. I mean, I'm not going for 120 anytime soon, so I'm just kind of leave this one for the most part and let it kind of slowly make its way to 99 on its own. Didn't hit a whole lot of other milestones on this day, though, ending the day at 2295 total level and 127 mil XP. Let's check out day 177. Began the day with a box trap, getting me to level 87 Hunter, which is kind of cool. Unlocks zombie and blinks, nothing too special, though. And then after that, I figured I needed strange rocks for Hunter anyway, and I also wanted to upgrade my yak twee stick, so I decided to camp the charm sprites. I had done this on my last account, and I figured I might as well do it again, considering I am still quite a ways off of 99 and getting that bonus XP multiplier on the yak twee stick. I believe it's 3% bonus XP when you're wielding it in the hunter skill, so I figured, I'm far enough away from 99 that actually having that could be super useful, especially considering that I am contemplating doing crystallized Grenwalls, and to that, I don't want to say it's expensive, but using the skill does cost a bit, and being able to cut down on that would also be helpful. After that, hunting some strange cooking rocks, got to level 91 cooking, pretty cool. Can now do the first stage of an cooking effigy. Can also cook manta rays. Neither of these things do I think are going to be common occurrences on this account, but it is still cool to see that progress, making progress past level 90, getting all that much closer to level 99. Again, not a super eventful day, but as you can tell from my XP, 128.27 mil, got around 1.2 mil XP on this day, so it's really just that levels are really spacing out to the point where I can't get a whole lot of levels in every day, and that's just the way it's going to be in this slightly higher tier content. But that is the end of the day, 2297 total level. Let's move on to the next one. Beginning the day, continuing with superheat form down in the living rock caverns, we get to level 87 smithing. Really cool progress there. The sooner I can get that to 90 and unlock the free attuned seed for just an attuned crystal weapon, that'll be great, but it is still quite a ways off. Regardless, though, really cool to get this level. After that, I decided to finally hunt down all of the different Elder Wisps that you can do after Fate of the Gods, I believe the quest is. And while doing this, each one gets you 50k XP, and there's 4 of them. So, 200k XP bound to get me a level somewhere. I got to level 84 Divination. Pretty cool here as well. After that, I did the mini quest Karshai's Troubles. And the reason for this is not only does it give me an upgraded version of Balbong, it's kind of nice, I guess, but it's also a prerequisite for Majorat Memories. And I wanted to complete Majorat Memories pretty much just because it gives you a really good chunk of XP and divination. I mean, it would have been nice to have done this before I did Fate of the Gods, because the enhanced Angrameter that you receive from doing this mini quest gives you reduced damage taken at the area of Freneske, which is where Fate of the Gods takes place. It is still kind of nice to have that for when I go back there for different comprecs that take place there. But I really just wanted the divination XP associated with this, and while I was here, got to level 85, which is cool. Unlocks a new tier of wisps, which is always nice, getting that increased XP per hour should I need to train divination. Big thing about level 85, though, is that now I can actually do the highest tier things in Gothixian Cache, whether that be the large memories or the enraged automatons. Both of these things give way more points than the lower tier things, and because of that, you're able to hit your 100 point cap in the Gothixian Cache that much faster, making it just so much more appealing of a D&D, and something that I know I need to be camping toward 99. Hitting this is actually monumental. It's motivated me so much to do more cache. I mean, looking back, I know I've done maybe 5 or 6 caches that I probably wouldn't have done normally. Granted, I should be doing 2 every day. Still not doing that, but at least I'm starting to make progress toward finally doing more. Ended the day a while after that, though, 2300 total level. Really cool milestone to have hit there. Super stoked about that. Looks beautiful, but still a long ways off of 2715. 129.3 mil XP. Let's check out day 179. Began this day getting to level 87 Divination, which is pretty cool, making solid progress there, and then I did finally go on to complete Majorat Memories. It takes a lot of training Divination as well as the actual mini-quest aspects of it, which is kind of cool in the fact that it motivates you to train a skill. I actually really enjoyed that. You'll see me clicking on this engrameter, expecting it to be complete. You actually do have to fill it up again after completing the task, or the mini-quest rather. And I did wind up going to do that, but that's not really super special. All that's important is that I did finally finish this mini-quest. That was the end of the day though, 2301 total level, 130.15 mil XP. As you might have noticed, not getting a whole lot of clips per day. This is partially just because, you know, I am at school, I am kind of busy, I can't record a whole lot of different things, and I mean I can record all I want, but I can't make as much progress as I would like to, just because it would take a lot of being super active and doing exciting things where I can get a lot of clips. But for the most part, it's just the fact that I am getting into higher tier content. I mean, if we exclude Invention, my lowest skill is level 81, and the space between 81 and 82 is well more than the space between like 50 and 60. So just the fact that I need to train so much more to get a single milestone is really spreading out my clips, and I'm sorry for that, but I'm still going to try and present you with all the milestones that I can. Turning to day 180 though, we're going to try and shift that up. I have a bunch of clips from this day, starting off with level 90 hit points. Pretty cool, nothing super special, just in the fact that another level 90 skill, really cool and exciting there, I guess. After that, went on to get to level 87 attack, which is pretty fancy. Still 3 levels away from 90, and even when I do hit 90, I don't know if I'm going to really be buying Dragors immediately, just in the fact that I want to be training Invention when I'm training combat for the most part, and I'm not going to be augmenting Dragors. So, at least for a while, I won't be anyway. So it will be cool whenever I hit it, but it is still a long ways off, so no point in talking about that. Afterward, though, I did wind up finally getting to level 10 on this Balmung. The reason I've been using Balmungs is because, number one, they're two-handed, which is nice just in the fact that AoE abilities are fantastic for training. Number two, in the fact that they only cost 300k to reclaim when you disassemble one or when you lose it, destroy it, however you get rid of it. It's only a 300k reclaim, which is much cheaper than a lot of other alternatives. If you want to think of like Crystal Halberd, even though it does have much better AoEs in the fact that it has wider range, I think they're around 1.3 mil last I checked, so I'm saving a lot of money through doing Balmungs, and I have no regrets. Disassembling this though, I did get to level 25 Invention, 9 levels there, which is pretty cool. Important thing about this is the maximum charge improvement. Just kind of a convenience thing really, in the fact that I can store more charges, but really not a whole lot special unlocked between 16 and 25. Now as you see here, I did reclaim my Balmung, and it didn't take money from me. The first Balmung you reclaim is free. I didn't know that. I was actually really surprised when I came back here to reclaim it. So that was a very nice surprise. Just, I guess, another 300k that I saved. Did go on to make some gizmos because I was close to a level, got me to level 26, which is pretty cool, and then after that I was just disassembling things for parts that I figured I would need over time, things like powerful components that I would go on to need for augmenters, and I realized I misspoke earlier because level 27 that I hit from this unlocks the level 10 augmented items. I only disassembled a level 5 Balmung, not a level 10 one, but, you know, it is still the best I could do, and I think I made the right decision in disassembling it to get me that much closer, instead of just breaking apart and disassembling garbage things to get me up to level 27 first. Continuing on my Abyssal Demon task, you see me get a whip, pretty exciting. This might be the second one I have. I don't know if I've gotten one before at this point. I figured I haven't been really including very many Special Slayer clips other than levels, and a whip drop, as far as all things go, it's not special, but still kind of cool to be able to get a decent drop now and then, as opposed to, you know, sharks. I did end of the day here at 2314 total level, 131.26 mil XP. As you can see, getting around 1 mil XP per day. It's been a, I don't want to say a goal of mine, but it's something that I have been trying to, see, if I call it a goal, that makes it come across like I set that as a goal and I make sure I try to hit that. And that's not the case. It's really just kind of been what's been happening. In the amount I train every day, it seems to be around 1 mil per day, which is kind of nice. And if I get lower than that, I am a little kind of disappointed. But it's kind of nice to see, 1 mil XP per day is decent, and it will definitely add up. Beginning day 181 though, getting to level 82 thieving from a thieving challenge. Had a pyramid plunder challenge. I hate pyramid plunder so much, but at least I got a level out of it, so it's alright. After that, back to Slayer. As you can see, I am disassembling my Belmung. Well, what are you doing, Panda? That's a level 5 Belmung. I see that in your chat. I see it when you examine it. Why are you disassembling it? Well, basically, I was an idiot, and I didn't realize that you don't get quite enough inspiration to unlock things as you go. And I had used inspiration on things that weren't really that important, and I didn't have the inspiration to unlock the level 10 augmented weapon. So, being the idiot that I am, I figure, well, I am screwed here. So I had to disassemble another level 5 Balmung. This is the third one, I believe, at this point. But getting up to level 30 invention gave me all of the inspiration that I needed to unlock the level 10 maximum level for augmented items. Finally, clearing up that mistake. From this point on, the only items I'm disassembling will be level 10. Moving on to a shadow creature task though, got to level 88 attack, which is pretty nice, only 2 levels away from that level 90. After that though, working on a water fiend task, this time using an augmented black salamander, got to level 89 slayer, which is pretty cool, 1 off of dark beasts. I don't believe level 89 really unlocks anything, but still only 1 level away. Shortly after that, hitting level 90 range, which is very cool. Also got me to level 124 combat, less monumental. Nice thing about 90 range, I mean, I can use Ascensions, I could use a Noxious Bow. I don't think I'm going to for a few reasons. Number one, they're just very expensive. I don't really have the drive to blow a lot of my bank on them, even if, yeah, I could sell them back. I like having free money to use to invest, or say I need to buy a bunch of skilling supplies. Having like a 2 mil stack isn't very conducive to that. This is nice in the fact, though, that I can get better binds in Daemonheim, which is, small milestone, and it does get me that much closer to 99, does give me a little bit better DPS, so, all things considered, very nice level. After that, moved on to an Abyssal Demon task, and as you can see, I get a Golden Beam for Dragon Bones. Like, what actually is this? I hit the rare drop table jackpot, though, because this is like... What is that, like 4 times more than a whip? Maybe even 5? That's crazy. 625k from Dragon Bones from Abyssal Demons. I was pretty stoked about this. I mean, like, yeah, it's only 600k. It's not a big deal at all in the grand scheme of things, but for that to be from a drop from an Abyssal Demon, I was pretty hyped. I ended the day here, though, at 2321 total level, 133.1 mil XP. Let's check out day 182. Kicking the day off with level 86 agility, which is pretty cool. Very inconvenient timing on this, coincidentally enough, because I had recently had a Steel Dragon task, and I couldn't do any of the shortcuts in Corridor's Dungeon. I had to run all the way around to get to the Steel Dragons, and I hated it. I was so salty, because I was only like 10k XP off of a level or something, but I just could not be bothered to go and get that in the middle of a task. So, at least next time I get a task like that, I will have the shortcut available. Moving on, I turn in my Jack of Trades, get to level 89 Herblore, which is fantastic. This unlocks extreme strengths. If you guys don't know yet, I have a bunch of Herblore supplies stocked up for bonus XP weekend, and because of that, I think I'm going to lay off on throwing all of my XP into Herblore. I'm going to start putting it into different skills, just because I feel like I might have enough Herblore supplies, and also just in the fact that, like, there are other skills that might more desperately need my attention other than Herblore. So I'm going to start putting my free XP into agility, just in the fact that I hate training agility, and the sooner I can start getting that up and not needing to grind it and not put myself into a position where, like, maybe later I have a bunch more 99s and agility is one of the few things I have left and it's a very low level, like, that's the sort of stuff I really want to avoid. So I'm going to shift my XP from Herblore to agility in the future. Ended the day here in the middle of a Rawari task, though, 2323 total level, 134.2 mil XP. Let's move on to day 183. Kicking the day off with level 84 defense, which is always pretty cool to get a defense level. After that, working on an aviancy task, I hit level 10 on my augmented black salamander, another 540,000 invention XP. Super stoked about that. Got me from level 30 to level 39. Nice thing about this is this unlocks the ability to research charge drain reduction. Always something nice to put points into, put your inspiration into, because that'll just start saving you money over time. You won't need to spend so much on divine charges, so that is definitely something that I looked into. After that, I got the War Priest of Armadyl Cape. Still only have a couple Armadyl pieces as far as War Priest goes, so this is really just taking up one more bank space for quite a long time, but at least I am still making progress. I do still have a couple more sets of War Priest to finish up. while making a statue of Damarok. I got to level 87 farming, pretty cool. This does unlock Sunchokes. A nice thing about Sunchokes is that they give Strength XP as well as Farming XP. Previously I was doing Sweet Corns for my allotments. They really don't give a whole lot of XP anyway. They were just kind of convenient in the fact that I could use them to make compost that I would use for more Sweet Corn. I do think that it's best that I do shift to Sunchokes, and I have done that for a couple reasons. Mostly because when I'm trading melee, prioritizing my XP into attack. And just because I don't really like training with melee a lot, I mean, all things considered, I want to be training my combat through Slayer, right? And most Slayer tasks are weak to either ranged or magic, not really so much melee. So that being said, most of my tasks I'll be not using melee, and that'll kind of leave my melee stats falling behind a bit, and when I do train them again, I've been prioritizing attack and not strength. So getting this extra little bit of strength XP, like, yeah, it's not a lot, it's just coming from farming, but will still definitely add up and be worth it in the long run, I think. I did wind up going to the Invention Guild and unlocking that decreased charge rate, and in doing that, I got to level 40 Invention, pretty cool. At level 40, you can choose which tech tree you want to specify into, whether it's Cave Goblin or Dwarven. I haven't actually done this yet, and I don't really know why, as far as every source I've talked to about this has told me just go Dwarven, it's usually better, at lower levels anyway, and I just haven't really done that. I don't know why. Looking back at this now, I'm wondering why I haven't, and I guess maybe after I'm finished editing this video, then I might go and do that. After that, though, I went to try out some crystallized teaks while I was hunting some strange rocks for woodcutting, and all things considered, yeah, I mean, it was nice XP, but I didn't really like it that much. You know, it's kind of expensive to cast crystallize, and I feel like it might just be better if I use Superheat Form at teaks or at Arctic Pines. All things considered, I feel like if I use Superheat Form at one of those locations until I get level 99 firemaking, then I should probably be at around 94 woodcutting anyway, and at that point I can just shift over to doing crystal trees. And I figure that's just going to be a more efficient way to go about it anyway, even though crystallize, yeah, it does give you a lot of XP. It's just not something I enjoy. It's kind of costly almost, and I feel like it might just be more efficient to get woodcutting and firemaking XP simultaneously instead. After that, though, I turned on the stream, I started working on some quests like I do oftentimes when I'm streaming. Knocked out the Firemaker's Curse. This is a requirement for the 6th Age Circuit, if I could speak properly, which is a post-quest reward from The World Wakes. Really cool to get this done. Big XP drop, 186 XP from completing the quest. Pretty cool to get this done. After that, though, I went on to the Void Quest series. I completed Quiet Before the Storm, and then after that, I went on to complete the Void Dance. All things considered, not really very special quests. You don't get a lot of XP from both of them, but they are prerequisites for Void Stairs Back, and Void Stairs Back does definitely have much better quest rewards. Ended the day shortly after that, though. 2336 total level and 136 mil XP. Great progress on this day. Let's move on to day 184. Now this must have been quite the busy day for me, that or I just maybe didn't play a whole lot of RuneScape. Maybe I was spending more time on League. Regardless, though, as you can see, I got level 87 mining while doing some dailies earlier in the day, and then I ended the day at 2337 total level and 136.5 mil almost XP, so I didn't really get a whole lot of XP on this day, and that's what makes me think maybe I was a bit more busy. Alternatively, maybe I was just doing like some clue scrolls or something, but even that, I feel like I would have gotten more XP from Hellhounds, so I'm pretty sure this is just a lazy day for me. Kicking off day 185, though, we begin it with level 88 Dungeoneering. Pretty cool progress there, only 2 levels away from 90. Level 90 unlocks the Demon Horn Necklace. That's been a goal of mine for a while. Really cool to finally make some good progress toward that. After that, though, while still in Daemonheim, got to level 91 hit points. Very cool there. Nice thing about this is this unlocks Ice Asylum. Ice Asylum in itself, not a super special ability, mostly because now that I have Enhanced Excalibur, and I'm actually pretty good about remembering to bring it with me at places that I might need it. The cooldowns of these don't overlap. It's a shared cooldown, so if I use one of them, I can't use the other. Ice Asylum as a whole, though, is really nice to use within Daemonheim, so it's cool to have this level. Now, it was on this day that Castle Wars was Spotlight, and as I had done in a previous, I think it was last episode, I'm not entirely sure, I was AFK in Castle Wars, pretty much just because I wanted to accumulate some Faller, and with that, I decided to buy the Seed Aside. Haven't had Seed Aside, that's stupid. Of course I haven't had seed aside on this account. I did have it on my last account though, and it was nice to have it on my last account. It's always very nice to take with you on a Slayer task, and especially if I really want to grind out some farming XP, could take it to Aqua Knights. Haven't done that quite yet, but it's really nice to have the option. Now, it was at this point I decided to do something pretty ballsy. If you remember correctly, I had bought a Chaotic Staff quite a while back. It might have been last episode, might have been the one before that, I'm not entirely sure. Regardless, I bought it and used it for a Krill instance. Chaotic Staff is a fantastic staff in my opinion. I don't see any reason to really go past it unless you're doing higher level PVM. And I figure, well, I mean, if I'm going to be using this, maybe I could augment it, and I could siphon it, or I could even just add a perk to it, and have that perk improve my abilities with my Chaotic Staff, right? So I look at this Crackling perk, and it looks like a pretty decent perk. If you guys watch a friend, he was talking about it in one of his videos, and I think as far as perks go now, it's probably one of the only decently good ones in the game yet. I know Jagex intends on releasing more perks. Hopefully they will be significantly better than what we have now, but this one seems to be pretty decent. So I augment my Chaotic Staff and I add this gizmo to it. Now the thing about this is that now I don't need to repair it with tokens and coins anymore, which is nice, but I do need to repair it with Divine Charge, and by that I mean I just need to keep supplying Divine Charge every time I use it. I don't know if this is more or less cost efficient. At lower levels I would assume it is less cost efficient, but all things considered, Divine Charge isn't super expensive. I'm not going to be going through a lot of it at a time anyway, and I feel like, you know, as I go on into Invention and I unlock decreased charge rate over and over, and I mean maybe in time Divine Charge will decrease as a cost overall. This could pay for itself, and maybe it'll just be really nice to have an augmented Chaotic Staff that I siphon and use this for a magic method of training Invention, as opposed to kind of pushing myself into using a Black Salamander or a Balmung. All in all, you guys tell me what you think about this decision. I'm still not quite too sure about it, but I think it's not a bad one. After that, though, I hit the Amlad Voice of Saren, got to level 85, summoning, pretty cool progress there. 3 levels off of 88, you need level 88 for the Elven Hard tasks. That's one of the things holding me back, if not the only thing. So that's kind of why I'm bringing that up. That's really nothing too special other than that I would think. Anyway, though, that was the end of the day, and in turn the end of the episode. 2340 total level and 137 mil XP. We have made some great progress in this episode. I know it really wasn't anything super special or important. There were really very few monumental things in this episode, but that's just kind of what's going to happen as the series goes on. Looking at the time of this episode, we're looking at like 23-24 minutes. I don't think I'm at the point yet where I have to like increase the length of an episode in terms of days, but I know as we get farther into this series that will have to happen, because there will just be days that I don't get levels, and when that does happen, I'm asking you right now, tell me in the comments, if I get to a point where I'm just not getting a level a day anymore, which is kind of weird to think of, but at the same time, it's definitely going to come, do you guys want me to still record end of the day clips kind of showing how much XP I got every day? Or is that just kind of repetitive, redundant, not really important? Like, I don't know if you guys keep track of that or if you even like those clips. They're kind of what I use to keep track of how many days I've been really working on this account, but there are other ways of doing that. I want to hear your guys' opinions and responses in the comments below. Other than that, thank you so much for watching. Hope you have enjoyed it. Have a beautiful day, stay happy, and I cannot wait to see you in my next episode, because I will return and I will rebuild.